it would be 500 centimeter. Similarly, if you have to convert this particular term into kilometer, it would be 0.05 kilometer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now just see the relation in between them. Here, on going from meter to centimeter, centimeter is a smaller unit as compared to this particular meter. So we can call it as, on decreasing the unit from higher to lower, check their numerical value. It was initially just 5, now it becomes 500. Whether it has increased or decreased?
Increased.
So we can say, on moving from higher unit to the lower unit, means I have just decreased the unit, then its numerical value would get increased. Similarly, on going from meter to kilometer, what is I'm just doing here? I'm going from meter to kilometer. I'm increasing the unit from meter to kilometer. So just check the numerical value in this particular conversion. 5 just becomes 0.005. It would just decrease. So now check the interrelationship between these two terms. If one of the quantity is increasing, the other one is decreasing. If one of the quantities is decreasing, the other would increase. So by which way these two quantities are related? We can say these are related by inversely, or we can say these are inversely proportional. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Hashir? Hashir? Okay, so we can say in this particular relation, one of the quantity, which we call it as numerical value, and the next one is the unit in which we are just measuring that particular term. So we can say U. So any of the physical quantity X would be written in terms of numerical value and with some specified unit. And there is interrelationship between these two terms, as when we increase numerical value, its unit would decrease, or similarly, when we decrease their unit, numerical value would increase. So they are just related inversely with respect to each other. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So on bringing this particular part to the other side, or on removing this particular proportionality term, we would just write any constant k divided by u. So if we bring this particular u to the other side, it will be n into u is equals to k. So we can say the product of numerical value and specified unit in any of the above calculation would be just equal to each other. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you can say numerical value in first system of unit and unit in that particular term would be equals to numerical value and unit in some other term, and similarly for any other term as well. So the product of numerical value and specified unit for the measurement of that particular term in any one of the particular system of unit would be always constant. So we can say n into u is always constant for any of the system of units. Now we have to derive a relationship for this particular conversion. Unit, as we have already defined in terms of dimension, we can write it as m, l, t. Having raised exponential, let's say x, y, and z. So unit of any quantity can be represented like this way. If you put this particular expression to this part, it would be n1 m1 to the power x, L1 to the power y, and T1 to the power z is equals to N2 times U2, which would be equals to M2 to the power x, L2 to the power y, and T2 to the power z. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So here we have just compared these two terms on the basis of dimension. We have to solve for N2 from this expression. So it would be N2 is equals to N1. This M, L, and T on moving to the other side, it will be M1 over M2 whole raised to the power X, N1 over L2 whole raised to the power Y, and similarly T1 over T2 whole raised to the power Z. So we have just derived a relationship to find numerical value from one system of unit to the other system of unit. Or simply, it is a way to convert the numerical value from any one of the system of unit to any one another unit. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just write it down. I will give you some example how to operate this particular formula.
Sir, could you briefly explain version of unit because I came late?
Umar, can you message me to NZ?
Yes, sir.
No, it is Muhammad Umar.
Sir, could you explain conversion of units again?
Okay. First of all, write it down. I'm just explaining. Have you all written? Rishan?
Done.
Okay. I'm just explaining you once again. Suppose if you have displacement which is equals to 5 meters. So 5 is your numerical part. So we can write it as N, and meter is the SI unit in which displacement is being measured. So we can call it as U. So here displacement is nothing but any physical quantity. We can write in terms of X. So X would be equals to N into U. Now I have just convert one system of unit, initially it is in meter, into other system of unit, that is centimeter, kilometer, to check how the unit and their numerical value being affected with one another. Okay. So on converting from meter to centimeter, I'm just decreasing the unit from meter to centimeter. The numerical value from this 5 would become 500. It gets increased. Similarly, on going from meter to kilometer, I'm increasing the unit. Then numerical value from 5 decreases to 0.05. So from this, we can conclude if numerical value is increased, then their SI unit in which it is being measured would get decreased, and vice versa. So we can say they are related inversely with one another. Okay. Rishan, is it clear? So on changing this particular proportionality sign, we put a constant K. So it would be N is equals to K upon U. If you bring this particular U to the other side, it would becomes N into U is equals to some constant. That's why I've just written any of the physical quantity can be written as product of its numerical value and specified unit. And this particular product would be always constant for any of the system of unit. Likewise, if you are measuring first system of unit and second system of unit, third system of unit, and so on. Okay, so I've just defined for any of the two system of unit. Let's say for the first system of unit, we can write unit in terms of dimension as m raised to the power x, l raised to the power y, and t raised to the power z. Since we are dealing with the first system of unit, so I've just specified 1, 1, and 1. For the next term, U2, I've just specified 2, 2, and 2. I have to convert N1 in terms of N2. So on this particular equation, bring this particular N2 to one side. This whole term on moving to the other side, it will be like this expression. So from this, I have just derived a relationship to convert numerical value from one system of unit into another. Is it clear to everyone now? Abdullah?
Yes, sir.
Abdullah, any doubt?
Sir, what about that U?
U is any unit in which we are just calculating that particular X. Suppose if you are calculating displacement, it would be just 5 meters. So meter would be a unit which can be represented in terms of dimension like this. Okay. Let me give you one question so that it would be clear. Suppose if you have to convert for this particular conversion, let's see some system of unit. We have mainly till now 4 system of unit. First one is CGS, second one is MKS, third one is FPS, and the last, which is internationally accepted, that is a system of unit. In CGS system of unit, C means centimeter, G means gram, and S means second. Means length is measured in terms of centimeter, mass in terms of gram, and time in terms of second. Similarly, MK system of unit, M represents meter, K represents kilogram, and S represents second. So length in terms of meter, mass in terms of kilogram, and time in terms of second. For FPS, F defines you foot to measure length, P defines pound, for the measurement of mass, and S define you time to be measured in second. So initially, as we have already know, physics was mainly mechanics, the earliest branch of physics, in which we mostly deal with just three terms: mass, length, and time. So initially, the unit was based on just three terms to measure mass, length, and time, depending upon the choice. So we have mainly three terms: mass, length, and time, mass, length, and time, mass, length, and time as well. But due to advancement of physics, some more terms were included in terms of fundamental quantity. So now we deal with this particular SI system of unit, which contain 7 different units. Other than this mass, length, and time, we have temperature, electric current, amount of substance, and intensity of light. Okay. So now, how do we convert from one system to another? CJ system of unit and MK system of unit are just correlated with one another. This is smaller system of unit and this is larger system of unit. For FPS, 1 foot is equals to nothing but 12 inches, and 1 inch is equals to 2.54 centimeter. Similarly, 1 pound is equals to 0.4536 kg. And second is just second. So if you have to convert 1 unit from this FPS to MKS unit, you have to just multiply this particular numerical value 12, 2.54, this particular numerical value to convert this system of unit into this system of unit. So this particular calculation would be hectic or too difficult to solve. So SI system of unit tells you to operate in terms of metric system. Metric system tells you multiples and submultiples on converting one to another would be differ in power of 10 only. Suppose if you have base unit 10 raised to the power 0, 10 raised to the power minus 1, 10 raised to the power minus 2, minus 3, minus 6, minus 9, minus 10, and so on. Similarly, 10 to the power plus 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and so on. Just see, these are just changing on the basis of power of 10 only. So this particular conversion is called metric system of conversion, in which SI system of unit deals with. Suppose if you are dealing with meter for the measurement of length, it would be decimeter, it would be centimeter, it would be millimeter, micro, nano, and angstrom, which is represented like this. This would be nm, this would be micrometer, millimeter, centimeter, decimeter, and meter as well. On going to the higher value, this would be deca, hecto, kilo, mega, giga, and so on. Deca can be represented as DAM, hecto, HM, kilo, KM, mega, capital M times M, giga, capital G times M. So these are just prefix for the measurement of any of the quantity. I'm just dealing with this particular meter. You can relate it in terms of gram for the measurement of mass, in terms of ampere, in terms of liter, and so on. So this particular term would define you the base quantity for which you are calculating. These are just the smaller term and these are just the larger term. So SI system of unit tells you whether you have to convert from lower value or higher value. just use the power of 10 to convert from one system to another, instead of using this particular FPS, which deals with the multiplication of these some numerical value, which on calculation becomes too difficult to solve. Is it clear to everyone, this whole topic? Abhinav?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just write it down. You have to memorize this particular whole prefixes.
Sir,
Done, sir.
Okay. Have you all written? Reha,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rishan, Abdullah, done? Okay. So now, how to convert from one system to another? I'm giving you one question. If you have to convert 7 Newton force into CGS unit, first of all, on the basis of this particular question, it is given 7 Newton force. So just write F is equals to 7 Newton. So this particular 7 is nothing but numerical value in the measurement of first system of unit. So we can call it as N1 is equals to 7. The next part is which physical quantity is representing this particular term. It is just force. So just write dimension formula of force. So it would be ml t raised to the power minus 2. The power of this particular m is nothing but 1. So it would be A. Similarly, power of L is nothing but 1. So it would be B. And you can relate it with X, Y, or Z as well. Exponential of M, 1. Exponential of L, 1. And exponential of P, minus 2. So from this particular question, I have just derived these particular information. Now we have to convert this particular force, which is initially in terms of SI unit, in terms of CGS unit. So just make a table of conversion like this. In left hand side, it would be SI unit, and then right hand side, it would be the unit in which you have to convert the quantities. Suppose this is your SI unit, and this is the unit in which we have to solve. Just see, in SI system of unit, mass is measured in terms of kilogram. So it would be 1 kilogram. Length would be measured in terms of meter. So it would be 1 meter. And time would be measured in terms of seconds. So it would be 1 second. The next part is to define the unit conversion of CGS part. So it would be called as M2. CGS, C is centimeter and G is gram. So the mass would be measured in terms of gram. Length, C, which is centimeter, and time in terms of second. Is it clear to everyone? To this part? Now, we have to convert this particular SI system of unit into this unit, CGS unit. So we have first mass in terms of kg. We have to convert mass in terms of gram. Using this particular relation, if you have gram here and kilogram here, there is exponential 3. So it would be just 10 raised to the power 3 gram. Similarly, for meter, to convert into centimeter, it would be 10 raised to the power 2 centimeter. And in time, in either of the two system of unit, they are equal. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
use this particular formula to convert in terms of N2. How to define it? Let's say we have to calculate N2. So N2 would be equals to N1, which was initially in SI system of unit. So it would be N1, M1, L1, and T1. We have to convert it in terms of M2, L2, and T2. The raised power X to the raised power Y to the raised power Z. Now see this particular expression. We have value of N1 as 7. We have value of M1 and M2 and X, M1, M2 and X. Just put all the values in this particular expression and try to simplify for N2. Okay? Any doubt to anyone of you?
No, sir.
Okay, just try to solve. Simply just put all the values which are written in this particular page over here and try to simplify on the basis of their exponential. It will be so easy. Sabita, any doubt?
No, sir.
Nida?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Rishan, this part, which I have just convert from one part to another, or this part? This one. From this particular above question, I have just written the information which is being written here. 7 Newton force. It means force is equals to 7 Newton. And we already know the SI unit of force is Newton. So this particular measurement is in terms of SI unit. So 7 is the numerical value in first system of unit. So I have put N1 is equal to 7. The next part you have to do is write the dimension formula of that given quantity. F to be here. And compare the exponential. M raised to the power is nothing but X, L raised to the power nothing but Y, and T raised to the power nothing but Z. I've just defined a notation to find the exponential in this part. The next part is to convert from one part to another. And third part, just write the derived formula which I have just derived in the previous part and put all the values from this into this. These are all in product. Okay, Abhinav?
Yes, sir.
So on the basis of their exponential, try to multiply or divide.
Okay, sir.
And where is your N1? Mohammed Umar? Abhinav, check your exponential of 10.
Okay, sir.
Good, Nida. Okay, Shan. Biba, there is no exponential on 7 or N1. Rest of you, please send your answer. Good. Correct, Umar. Rihab, send your answer, please. Just see how to solve. We have n1, which is equals to nothing but 7. So put the value. The next part is m1, which was 1000 gram. 10 raised to the power 3 gram. Divide by m2, which is just 1 gram. And whole raised to the power x, which was nothing but 1. This is your first part. Similarly, for solving L1, L1 is equals to 100, means 10 raised to the power 2 centimeter, divide by 1, and whole raised to the power y, which is equals to 1. For third part, for solving time, T1 is just 1 second, and T2 is also just 1 second, and exponential -2. Is it clear, Rishan? I've just put all the values from this table in this expression. Now just try to simplify it. 7 into gram and gram would cancel out. 10 raised to the power 3 and multiplied by 1, it would be just 10 raised to the power 3 into centimeter and centimeter would cancel out. So we're left with just 10 raised to the power 2 into 1 raised to the power -2 would be just 1. So in total on solving becomes 7 into 10 to the power 5. So this would be our final answer to convert from this 7 Newton into CGS.
So how would solve one by one, all raised to -2?
1 raised to the power -2. 1 having any exponential
Will it be
would be just
1
1.
divided by 1 raised to 2?
If there is any exponential to the 1, it will give you the same result. It would be 1. Just say 1 over 1 would be nothing but 1. And if you multiply it by 2 times, it will again give you the same result, 1. Okay. So any exponential to the power 1 would be remain same, 1. Is it clear to everyone? Rishan? Okay. Have you all written this? Abdullah? Okay. I'm giving one more problem. Try to simplify. Same table as we did for the last question. Yes. Good, Riba. Use this particular same table. Good, Muhammad Umar. Abhinav. Yeah, Umar. Ishan, just like check the exponential of L. Here we have force having exponential of L as 1. But here we have energy. So the dimension formula of energy would be mL square t raised to the power minus 2. So raised to the power 1. So x would be 1, y is equals to 2, and z is equals to minus 2. Now I try to solve. Good, Nida. Good, Umar. Good, Savita. Okay. Here we have 5 joule. So it means N1 is equals to just 5. Now, put all the values in terms of N2. Good, Rishan. N2 is equals to N1 upon M2 to the power X, L1 over L2 to the power Y, and T1 over T2 to the power Z. N1 is nothing but 5. M1 was 10 to the power 3 gram divided by 1 gram whole to the power 1. L1 10 to the power 2 centimeter divided by 1 centimeter whole to the power 2, and T1 1 second divided by 1 second to the power minus 2. On solving, it would be 5 into 10 to the power 3 to the power 1, it would be 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power 2 to the power 2, so it will becomes 2 into 2, 4, and 1 raised to the power any number would be just 1. So we're left with nothing but 5 into 10 to the power 7. So how to write your answer? It would be 5 joule is equals to 5 into 10 to the power 7 in new unit. This would be your final answer.
So what unit are we supposed to put?
If you don't know about this particular unit, so just leave it by writing new unit. Or if you know about the unit of new system, that is CGS unit, you can write it like the CGS unit of energy is erg. CGS unit of Newton is dyne. So you may write erg dyne in place of Newton. Okay.
So what is the CGS unit for energy?
Erg.
Could you repeat that again?
For force, SI unit is Newton and its CGS unit is dyne. For energy, SI unit is joule and CGS unit is erg. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is some twist to solve some more problem regarding this I'm giving you. If there would be a question, convert 2-watt power into a system in which mass, length, and time is measured as 100 gram, 10 centimeter, and 10 seconds respectively. Then you have to convert this particular quantity in this particular unit in which mass, length, and time is being measured as 100 gram, 10 centimeter, and 10 second respectively. What this actually mean?
Yes.
Initially, we have given force, pressure, power is equals to 2 times watt. So we have 2 as numerical value. So we can write N1 is equals to 2. The next part is unit of that particular power, which is watt, or to define the dimension formula of this particular power, it would be ml square t raised to the power minus 3. So the exponential of m is 1. So we can write x is equals to 1, y is equals to 2, and z is equals to minus 3. The first part from this particular question is given like this. The second way is to make a table of conversion from this SI unit into the new system of unit in which the question is given. So just form a table of conversion. In left hand side, put SI unit. In right hand side, put the unit in which the quantities are given. So we can write it as, this is your SI unit, mass, length, and time. Mass is measured in terms of kilogram, length in terms of meter, and times in terms of second. In the next part in which we have to convert is nothing but any new unit. There is nothing mentioned as CGS unit, FPS unit, or any other term. They have given you some numerical value in regarding of calculation of mass, length, and time. So we have to put new system of unit in which mass would be M2, length would be L2, and time would be T2. Just see, here mass is nothing but 100. So it would be 100 gram. Similarly, length is 10 centimeter and time is just 10 seconds. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nida, any doubt?
No, sir.
Rishan? Samiksha, is it your first class with me?
I came for the accountancy class, which is at 7:30.
Just ask with Nishkarsh sir.
Okay.
Sir, we have to solve.
No, just see. Here we have mass in terms of kilogram, but here we have mass in terms of gram. So just convert this particular mass in terms of this particular unit, gram. So it would be 10 to the power 3 gram. The next part is we have length in meter, but we have length in centimeter. So just put 10 to the power 2 centimeter. And the time is in equal or same unit. So there is no need of conversion. So we have just defined a table of conversion. Now use the formula and try to put all the values and simplify it. Okay,
Okay.
try to solve.
Sir, is it correct?
Let me solve. Good, Abhinav. Good, Nida. Sabita, try once again. Good, Riba. Umar, send me your answer. Good. Rehab, send me your answer. Abdullah, Rishan. Correct, Muhammad Umar. See how to solve. N2 is equals to N1. M1 divided by M2 to the power L1 over L2 to the power Y and T1 over T2 to the power Z. We have to simply put all the values of N1, M1, M2, X, Y, and Z in this particular expression. First, N1 is nothing but 2. M1 is 10 raised to the power 3 divided by M2 is 10 raised to the power 2, or you can say 100 gram, whole raised to the power 1. Similarly, for this particular length, L is 10 raised to the power 2 centimeter divided by 10 centimeter to the power 2, and time 1 second divided by 10 second to the power minus 3. So on simplifying, it would be 2 into 10 to the power 3 in numerator and 10 to the power 2 in denominator. So we're left with 10 to the power 1 into, here we have 10 to the power 2 in numerator and 10 to the power 1 in denominator. So they would cancel out. So we're left with 10 to the power 1, and there is again square over it. So it would become 10 to the power 2. Here we have 1 over 10 to the power minus 3. By the law of exponential, we have learned if x raised to the power m is equals to 1 over x raised to the power minus m. So if there is exponential in negative, on reversing the term from numerator to denominator and denominator to numerator, exponential would become positive. So here we have 1 over 10. So if we reverse it to 10 over 1, it will become positive 3. So 10 over 1 becomes positive 3. So in general, it will be 2 into 10 to the power 6. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Rehab, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have just defined how to convert whether they are CGS in term, FPS, or any of the new unit in which they will ask you. I'm giving one typical problem related to this. Try to solve. If convert 1 calorie energy into a system in which mass, length, and time is measured as alpha kg, beta meter, and gamma second. In the previous problem, we have just given you the numerical part in place of this alpha, beta, and gamma. Now they have given you in terms of this some variable part, that is alpha, beta, and gamma. You have to convert that particular quantity, calorie, in terms of this. So first of all, the quantity which is given is calorie. It is not the SI unit. So you have to first convert this particular quantity into SI unit. 1 calorie is the traditional unit of energy. It is equals to 4.186 joule, or you may write it as 4.2 joule. Okay. Now this would be your energy E. So 4.2 would be the numerical value in first system of unit. Now try to find as we have done for the last 2 questions. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, try to solve. Just make a table of conversion from SI system of unit into new unit. Write all the values. And try to simplify. But there is no any numerical part written over here. We have to answer in terms of alpha, beta, and gamma as well. Just see, M2 is nothing but alpha kg. L2 is nothing but beta meter, and T2 is nothing but gamma second. So just compare the unit of these two terms. They are equal. So don't need to convert from one to another. Their unit are equal in either of the two sense. So just you have to put all the values which are written in this table and try to simplify.
Sir, is it correct?
I think there would be some negative sign you have left.
The negative sign can be converted, no? Reciprocal, it will become positive.
Try to simplify once again. There
Okay,
would be.
sir.
Otherwise, correct.
Okay, sir.
Nida, what about gamma? I think you have left. Just right. Otherwise, it's correct. Umar, check the exponential of alpha and beta. And there would be no plus sign in between them.
Sir, what will be negative?
Yes,
Sir, what will be negative?
alpha and beta would be in negative and gamma
Oh,
would
we
be
have
in
to take them
positive.
up.
Yeah,
Oh, that is why. That is what I was thinking.
now it's correct. Nida. Good, Umar. Mohammed Umar, you can simply write all the term in numerator. Yes, Rishan. We have just done so many questions regarding this particular energy. Just see, energy is ml square t minus 2. So x would be 1, y would be 2, and z would be minus 2.
And now it is correct.
Good. Good, Mohammed Umar. Savita, check the exponential of beta and gamma. Rehab, send your answer. Rishan, Abdullah, just see N2 would be equals to N1, M1 divided by M2 to the power X. L1 over L2 to the power Y and T1 over T2 . Check the exponential of gamma, Sabita. So we have N1, which is equals to 4.2. M1 is 1 kg divided by alpha kg to the power 1. Length is 1 meter to the beta meter to the power 2. And time is 1 second to the power gamma second to the power -2. Rishan, there would be some negative exponential. Just see, we have 4.2, kg and kg would cancel out. If alpha on moving to the numerator, its exponential would becomes negative. So we can write it as alpha to the power -1. Similarly for this one, meter would cancel out. So beta would have power 2. On bringing it to the numerator, it will becomes -2. Similarly, second and second cancel out. We have gamma raised to the power -2. So on bringing it to the numerator, it would becomes +2. So this would be your final answer for N2. Okay. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Now, this question may be asked in some other way as well. They would ask you if expression on solving this particular term would be in this way: 1 calorie is equals to 4.2 alpha to the power A, beta to the power B, and gamma to the power C. Then they would ask you to define exponential of A, B, and C. So from this expression, as we have just derived, this is your 4.2, the numerical part. Alpha raised to the power nothing but -1. So the value of A would be -1. Similarly, beta have exponential -2. So the value of B would be -2. And exponential of gamma is 2. So the exponential of gamma here is C. So C would be 2. Is it clear?
So could you repeat that again?
This question may be asked in this way as well. They would ask you to convert 1 calorie energy in the system of this. And if expression on converting would come like this, then define the exponential of ABC. So just convert as we have done like this, and just compare the exponential of alpha to the exponential of alpha. Here we have exponential as a, and here we have obtained as -1. So a would be nothing but -1. Okay, Muhammad Umar? Similarly, we can compare to solve for B and C as well. So from this particular comparing, A would be -1, B would be -2, and C would be just +2. Is it clear to everyone?
Sir, will they give the units also alongside it?
Which unit?
Like in this, yeah, initially you give alpha kg and beta meter.
This
In the
whole
second,
term would be given in the question.
okay.
And they would just add this particular question like this. If the expression on converting this particular term would be like this, then find A, B, C. So how do you define? First, try to convert like this and just compare the exponential of each term. Then you would be able to define A, B, and C. Okay. Any doubt to any one of you? Riyadh, is it clear
No,
to
sir.
you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have just finished how to convert system of units from one to another. Then third application, which is the most important for the dimension analysis, is deducing or deriving a relationship between different physical quantity. I'm defining you some rules regarding this. First of all, check which quantity is dependent part. They will give you, suppose, a quantity, let's say Q, which will depend upon some factor, depend on, suppose, A, B, and C. So by this information, try to simplify or try to form an equation. Let's say Q proportional to A, B, and C. In this particular expression, this Q would not be directly proportional to A, B, and C. It might be some exponential over there. So it would be A raised to the power X, B raised to the power Y, and C raised to the power Z. So that the dimension of this part and this part would be equal. Now, we have this particular proportionality sign. If you convert this particular proportionality, it would be Q is equals to some constant K, A raised to the power X, B raised to the power Y, and C raised to the power Z. So this should be your final relation for converting or deriving any formula. Is it clear till this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just write it down. Have you all written?
Yes, sir.
So we have just defined a relationship to find this particular Q on the basis of whether dependency with A, B, and C. So on this basis, I'm giving you one question, how to solve any problem. If centripetal force acting on a body moving along circular path depends upon mass of body, radius of path, and velocity v. Using this, deduce relationship. And there would be k is equals to 1 written in every question. So this would be a question. So how to solve? I have to just let me summarize this particular part. If a body is moving along circular path, let's say this, we have a particle here having mass m, moving with some velocity v in this particular path, having radius r. So it will experience a centripetal force which tends to pull it towards the center of the circular path always. That's why all different planets move around circular orbit around sun. Due to this particular centripetal force, electron revolves around nucleus so that atom would exist, and so on. Okay. So next is how to relate this particular centripetal force with these three different quantities. So as we have defined for Q here, we have centripetal force here. So it would be F is equals to, on what factor this particular force is depending. First one is mass, second one is radius, and third one is velocity of body. On the basis of this, we can relate it as K m raised to the power x, r raised to the power y, and v raised to the power z. So on this particular information given the question, we have just derived a relationship. Is it clear to everyone how I have just derived this particular part?
So is that the answer?
Yes, Muhammad Umar?
Is that the final answer?
No. We have to simplify this particular term for find x, y, and z. Is it clear to everyone till now how I just derived this particular formula?
Yes, sir.
Abhinav?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, according to principle of homogeneity, if two physical quantities are equal, or if they are related by some equals to sign, it means the dimension on left hand side and dimension on right hand side must be equal. So using this particular concept, we have to simplify this. Let me solve first. So we have f is equals to some k, m raised to the power x, r raised to the power y, and v raised to the power z. So just try to write the dimension of each part. So we have in left hand side, which is force, it would be mlt raised to the power minus 2. K is nothing but proportionality constant, which having any numerical value. So this would be dimensionless constant. So just remove it. So we're left with m to the power x. R is nothing but length to the power y, and velocity is nothing but lt to the power -1 to the power minus plus z. I've just written all the dimension related to each term. Now simplify them. M raised to the power x. We have L to the power y here, and similarly L to the power 1 and multiplied by z. So we can write L to the power z. Lastly, t raised to the power -1 to the power z. So we can write it as minus z. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now try to simplify it. M having exponential x, x exponential of L having base same, so their power would be added together, so it would becomes y plus z, and we're left with t raised to the power nothing but minus z. In left hand side we have m raised to the power 1, L raised to the power 1, and t raised to the power -2. Now according to principle of homogeneity, it tells you if two quantities are related by sum equals to, it means each term on left hand side and each term on right hand side would be same in dimension part. So just see, we have exponential of m in left hand side and for exponential of m in right hand side, and compare them. So on comparing the exponential of each part, first for the exponent of m, second for the exponent of L, and third for exponent of T as well. What we can conclude from this expression? Just see, we have in left hand side m to the power is 1, and for the right hand side m raised to the power is x. So we can say x is equals to 1. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Diba, can you tell me the exponential for length on either side? What we
1,
can write? And to the right hand side,
1,
just see this, L to the power. What we have written here,
L to the power
L.
y plus z.
Good. So y plus z to the right hand side would be equated to L to the power on left hand side, which would be nothing but 1. Similarly, try to compare the exponential for t. We have right hand side to the power t is minus z, and left hand side t to the power is -2. So it would be minus of z is equals to minus of 2. This minus and this minus would cancel out. So z would be equals to nothing but 2. Just put the value of z in this equation. It would be y plus 2 is equals to 1. So y would be nothing but minus 1. So on comparing the exponential of each part, we have just derived x, y, and z. Then the last part is to put all the values in the first equation, which we have already derived. This expression, let's say it would be equation first. This part, so f would be k. As it was written in the question, k would be nothing but 1. M raised to the power x, which is equals to 1. R raised to the power y, which is equals to -1. And v raised to the power z, which is equals to +2. So on simplifying, it will become m v square, and if a term contains negative exponential, bring it
By
to the
R.
denominator, it will become positive. So this would be your final answer for the centripetal force. Is it clear to everyone how I've just derived this relation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Rihab, Nida,
Yes, sir.
Rishan, is it clear? Okay, first of all, write it down first from here. Have you all written this page?
Yes, sir.
No, sir, I'm writing.
Muhammad Umar done.
Yes, sir.
Just write it down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, can you explain from that part? F1, M1.
Okay. Have you all written?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me explain you once again how I've derived this whole part. First of all, in the question, they would be given on which part the given quantity would depend upon. Suppose in this particular expression, we have to derive this particular centripetal force, which is depending upon these three segments, that is mass, radius, and velocity. On the basis of this information, first try to summarize or define a formula like this particular expression we have initially done. On the basis of this, we have just derived a relationship. Till now, any doubt? Umar?
No,
Now, as we all know, if two quantity are related by any is equals to sign. So according to principle of homogeneity, the dimension on either side of the equation would be same. So on the basis of this relation, just write the dimension of each side. For force, we have dimension as mLt to the power minus 2. K is nothing but proportionality constant, and it would be dimensionless part. So just remove it. M having dimension capital M to the power x. R is nothing but radius, which having dimension as L, and V is velocity, which having dimension Lt to the power minus 1, and the whole raised to the power z. Now we have to simplify it. M to the power x, L to the power y. Here we have L to the power 1 and to the power z. So power to the power gets multiplied. So 1 multiplied by z would become z. Similarly, for the exponential of t, we have minus 1 and z over it. So it becomes minus z. Now these two terms having same base, so the exponential in multiplication would be added together. So it would become L to the power y plus z. Is it clear?
yes, sir.
Now just equate the left-hand side term and right-hand side term individually to compare so that you can easily find the unknown part, that is x, y, and z. On solving, by simply compare the exponential of each segment, you will definitely find x, y, and z. Now on finding this particular whole part, put them in the above first equation to derive the actual relationship.
Sir,
Yes.
my doubt was how R came in that denominator. Sir.
Okay. This part,
Yes,
since
sir.
we have r raised to the power minus 1, so if any expression contain negative exponential, on bringing it to the denominator, its exponential will become positive.
Okay, sir, understood.
Okay. So have you all written?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm giving you one more problem. Calculation of time period of simple pendulum, in which if you have a pendulum like this, having a support over here containing a ball having mass m, length of a string to be L, and it's being acted by gravity. So it oscillates to and fro like this. So it would have some fixed time period of oscillation. In question, they were given you time period would depend upon three factors: mass, length of a string, and gravity. So by using this particular term, I will define you to write an equation. T would be equals to some proportionality constant K. The first dependency is mass. So we can write m to the power x. The second dependency is length, L to the power y, and third dependency is gravity, so G to the power Z. So we have just derived an equation for finding this particular time period. Put k is equals to 2 pi in this given expression. So just try to solve this particular whole expression. So how to approach this? Write the dimension of each part towards left hand side and towards right hand side. Just as we have time period in left hand side, so we can write it as m raised to the power 0, L raised to the power 0, and t raised to the power 1. Similarly, write the dimension of right hand segment part and compare the exponential of each part to each one to find x, y, and z. Okay? Try to solve.
Sir, dimension for gravity is LT minus 2, right?
Good. Dishant, any doubt? Okay. First of all, send your answer for the value of x, y, and z, what you got. G's gravity, which is Lt to the power minus 2. This is just small g, which is nothing but acceleration. Don't get confused about capital G, which is called gravitational constant. Abhinav, check once again. X is correct,
Okay.
Y and Z is wrong.
Okay, sir.
Good, Riba? Nida, it may be your typing mistake or something else. Y would be Z and Z would be Y. And X would be something different. Just check your calculation. Riba, check the exponential for Y. Just see, this is K, which is dimensionless part, so remove it. Here we have M to the power X, L to the power Y, and gravity is Lt to the power minus 2 whole to the power Z. Umar, check the exponential for Y and Z. Just see the expression which I'm getting it. Just see. M raised to the power X, L raised to the power Y. Here we have L raised to the power 1 and to the power Z. So we can write it as L to the power Z and similarly T to the power minus 2Z. So it will become M raised to the power X, L raised to the power Y plus Z and T raised to the power minus 2 times of Z. In left hand side, M raised to the power 0, L raised to the power 0 and T raised to the power 1. Is this the same as you got the expression? First, try to compare this. Is it the same expression which we have got? Okay. If you got the same expression, so just try to compare each part. The exponential of M to exponential of M. Similarly, exponential of L to exponential of L. And last, exponential of T to the exponential of T. And try to find X, Y, and Z. Nida, check the exponential of Y. Otherwise, it is correct. Good, Abhinav. Just see this expression, this last expression. What we have the exponential for M in left hand side, this is 0. So the exponential on right hand side for the mass M is X. So on comparing, X would be nothing but 0. Good, Nida. Similarly for L as well. So we can write it as y plus z is equals to 0. And for third part, t minus of 2z is equals to 1. So from this, we can write z is equals to minus 1 over 2. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Riba? So just write this particular z in this particular equation. So it would be y minus z is minus half is equals to 0. So y would be nothing but plus half. So we have x raised to the power 0, x is equals to 0, or y is equals to plus half, and z is equals to minus half. Any doubt in this calculation to any one of you?
No, sir.
Muhammad Umar, Rehab,
No doubt.
okay. So we have just derived this particular exponential. Now, the final step to put all these values in this particular above expression. So it would be t is equals to k, which was 2 pi, m to the power x, which was 0, L to the power y, which was plus half, and g raised to the power z, which was minus half. If an exponential is in negative, bring it to the denominator. So it would be 2 pi. M raised to the power 0 would be nothing but 1. So neglect it. So we're left with L raised to the power half divided by g raised to the power plus half. Now you may simplify it as L and G both are containing same exponential. So we can combine them together. And we have just know square root in terms of exponential can be written as plus half. So we can remove this particular exponential in terms of square root. So your final answer would be 2 pi under root L over G. Any doubt how I got this result?
No, sir.
Riba? Rehab?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt in this calculation?
Yes.
Okay, just write it down first
Sir,
of all from this.
sir, could you
Yes,
explain that root equals to that bracket root?
just we have explained you in the conversion part, or in the first part how to deduce relationship. No, it was checking the accuracy of equation. While converting square root in terms of exponential, we can write it as plus half. So plus half exponential can be treated as under root. This is the conversion according to your need. So since it has exponential plus half, so we can write it as under root of. Okay, Mohammad Umar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So have we all written this whole part?
Yes, sir.
Rishan? Done? Okay, just write it down. Have you all written?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your homework is to just revise all the topics and try to solve all the problems which we have discussed in this class by your own. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, then we will continue in next class. I will define you some more problems on this particular topic, and then we will start error analysis. So any one of you, do you have any doubt from today's class?
No, sir.
Mohammed
Thank you,
Ubair?
No doubt, sir.
Okay then. Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.